Okay then, so optimising images for the web is not too difficult to do, but it may seem a bit alien if you've not done this sort of thing before. What I've done is I've gone ahead and I've just gone into my photo album and just at random pulled out this nice image of some seagulls, and we'll work on the assumption that I want to incorporate this into a website. Now there's two problems with this image straight away. If I zoom into its native size, you'll see although we get some nice detail here of the seagull's feathers, the image itself is too large. We've got sort of horizontal and vertical scroll bars displaying here. This will make it very difficult to sort of squeeze into a website, into a web page. The second issue that you'll notice is if I call up the info for this image, the image size is 3.4 megabytes. Now that's quite significant for an image of this sort of type. It'll cause problems certainly for people trying to view the image on a lower power device like an iPhone or an iPad, and equally so somebody trying to load this image now on a web page will find the web page is extremely slow, quite sluggish, and you'll be burning through a lot of disk space and a lot of bandwidth. So this is definitely an image, if we wanted to use it in our website, that we'd have to optimise first. I'm going to start by opening this image in Pixelmator. Pixelmator is what I use for a lot of image editing, but equally so tools such as Photoshop, GIMP or Acorn work just as well, and you might already have access to those. We'll start by calling up the image sizing properties. We can see already that this image is over 4,500 pixels wide. Working on the assumption that our web page was say 1020 pixels wide, it would make sense to ensure that our image is that size. So I'm just going to type in 1020 like so. Click on OK, and that scales our image down. I'll just put it up to its native size. So that's the new size of our image. Something else I should just point out there is we've also got a box here for the resolution. Resolution is measured in dots per inch or DPI. Normally all images for the internet need to be saved at 72 DPI. What you may find is if you've got images which are something other than 72 DPI, some web browsers, particularly Internet Explorer, will either shrink or vastly enlarge the image, and it will be scaled differently to how you scale it in here. So always just make sure that's 72, and then you've got no problems later on. What we'll do now is to actually save the image, and we'll export it. Now what you can do in Pixelmator, and certainly software such as Photoshop which has a save for web option, is you can select the format here, and in this case I'm going to choose JPEG. You can use this slider here to adjust the quality. So if I move the slider all the way down, you'll see that the image starts to get quite pixelated and grainy and it loses its quality. And equally so up here in the top left hand corner it's displaying the size of the image. So I'm just going to put this slider back up again. I always work on the assumption and try to aim towards getting images under 200 kilobytes in size. That's the sort of goal I aim for. In this instance the image doesn't have a great deal amount of detail in it. We've just sort of got a blue sky and a sort of blurred sea behind, so therefore the image isn't going to be particularly large. But I've noticed that if you're taking pictures of like landscapes and there's a lot of green and things like trees in the picture, that can push up the file size quite significantly. But in this instance I'm just going to adjust this slider and just going to bring it into about 100 kilobytes, and that'll be fine. And again we're just setting it to JPEG, so that will give us a nice web safe format to use on the internet. So I'll click on the next button and I'll just give this a new name, goals. If you've got the option, make sure you've got the extension displayed, so it will say goals.jpg afterwards. I'll just say export, and that's basically all the optimization done. But there is one other thing I want to show you quickly, and if we just close this image again now, I've got a tool on my computer called Image Optin. I'll just launch this. This is a free tool, and what it basically does is it compresses images even further, and it removes colour profiles and any metadata associated with the image. So the image will work exactly the same as you saved it in like Photoshop or Pixelmator. It will look identical, but some of the extra data in the image which isn't needed will be taken out. And to use Image Optin, you just launch it on your computer like this. You take your image and you drag it straight in, and it's almost instant. It displays a green tick when the task is done, and it will tell you how much saving it's made. So in this instance it's saved 5.8% of the original image. Some images you put in, it will shave very little off, but other images I've seen it go perhaps 80-90% saving in terms of disk space. So this is definitely a tool to use. I think I've got let me just see on my other screen here. Yes, I've got the website here, if I bring this across. So this is the website for Image Optin. It's free software you can download, and it will batch convert and optimize images. You just drag in a folder of images or highlight a selection of images, drop them straight in, and it will shrink them down in size for you. It's a fantastic little tool, and I recommend you get this. If you are a Windows user, I'm pretty certain there are similar tools available for you as well. And likewise, if you're on another platform like Ubuntu or Mint Linux, something like that, there's tools like this for you as well. So that is basically all there is to optimising images. If I go ahead and just double click and open the image here, this is our completed image, and as you can see, it's I'll just put it down to its original size. So we've got our image, it's nicely shaped and sized now. We've checked the resolution, it's in a good format, it's in JPEG format, so it's going to be fast to load on our website. It's compressed, and we've just put it through Image Optin to remove any surplus data as well. So at this point, this image is perfectly fine now to use on the website, on a web page. Or likewise, you can use image optimization for images you're sending to people via email, or even if you're uploading images to social media networks. Although social media networks typically do some image optimization at their end, you might feel you don't want to send a huge, gigantic sort of 5,000 pixel image to somewhere like Facebook or to Google+. It's sometimes more appropriate to resize the image yourself into a nice, tidy format before you upload it. So I think that's all there is to explain about this. Certainly if you do have any questions, then feel free to drop me an email through my website. I'm at willwoodgate.com, and I hope this information is of help to you.